The sound of breaking glass shattered the 3 a.m. silence. Marcus Chen bolted upright in bed, heart hammering against his ribs. Another crash echoed through the mansion's empty halls. He grabbed his phone, finger hovering over the security app when he heard something else. Water running, the clink of dishes. Someone was in his kitchen. Marcus moved quietly down the marble staircase, each step deliberate. The kitchen light spilled into the hallway like a beacon. He rounded the corner and froze. Sofia Martinez stood at the sink, elbow-deep in soapy water, her slight frame hunched over a mountain of pots and pans. Dark circles shadowed her eyes. Her school backpack sat slumped in the corner, surrounded by textbooks. "Sofia," his voice cut through the running water. The girl spun around, a plate slipping from her hands. She caught it inches from the floor. "Mr. Chen, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. I just wanted to help my mom finish up." Marcus glanced at the clock on the microwave. 3:17 a.m. "It's Wednesday, don't you have school in 4 hours?" "I'll be fine, I'm used to it." Sofia turned back to the sink, scrubbing with renewed intensity. "Where's your mother?" "She went to bed early, migraine, I told her I'd finish." Sofia's hands moved mechanically, efficiently, too efficiently, like someone who'd done this 1,000 times. Marcus watched her for a moment longer, noticing the tremor in her shoulders, the way she swayed slightly on her feet. "Sofia, go home, get some sleep." "Almost done, Mr. Chen, just a few more." He wanted to argue but recognized the stubborn set of her jaw, Maria's daughter through and through. "Good night, Sofia." "Good night, Mr. Chen." But as he walked away, Marcus couldn't shake the image. Something was wrong. He'd known Maria Martinez for 8 years, watched Sofia grow from a quiet 8-year-old into a teenager who barely spoke anymore. When had she become this exhausted ghost of a person? The next morning, Marcus mentioned it to Maria. She was arranging fresh flowers in the foyer, her movements sharp and tense. "I found Sofia in the kitchen last night, 3 in the morning." Maria's hands stilled. She told me she couldn't sleep. "Maria, is everything okay with Sofia?" The housekeeper's face crumpled for just a second before she smoothed it back into professional composure. "Teenagers, you know how they are, Mr. Chen, moody, difficult." She seemed more than moody, she seemed exhausted. "I'll talk to her." Maria's tone made it clear the conversation was over. But Marcus couldn't let it go. That evening he pulled up the security footage on his tablet. There was Sofia at 2:45 a.m. creeping into the kitchen. He scrolled back. Tuesday night, same thing. Monday night, there she was again. A week's worth of footage showed the same pattern. Sofia, night after night, working in his kitchen while the rest of the house slept. He checked the daytime footage next. 7 a.m. Sofia left through the front door, backpack on her shoulders, heading toward the bus stop. Normal enough, but then he fast-forwarded. 8:53 a.m. Sofia walked back through the gate. She'd been gone less than 2 hours. He checked Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every single day, Sofia left for school and came back within 2 hours. Marcus's stomach twisted. What was she doing? Who was she meeting? His mind raced through possibilities, each worse than the last. Drugs, some older boyfriend, was she in danger? He called his head of security. "David, I need you to look into something, discreetly." 3 days later, David reported back with more questions than answers. "She's not going to Lincoln High, boss. Bus records show she gets off downtown, near the community college." "The community college, she's 16. "I know, weird, right? You want me to keep digging?" "No, I'll handle it." Marcus hadn't done fieldwork in 15 years, but some instincts never faded. Thursday morning, he followed Sofia's bus route in his black sedan, hanging back far enough to avoid suspicion. Just like David said, Sofia got off downtown. But instead of meeting someone shady, she walked straight into the Pierce Community College main building, head down, shoulders hunched like she was trying to disappear. Marcus parked and waited. 1 hour passed, then 2. Students flowed in and out of the building like a tide. Finally, at 10:37, Sofia emerged, but she looked different. Her shoulders were back, her face was animated, alive in a way he'd never seen. She was talking to another student, gesturing excitedly about something. She clutched 3 thick textbooks against her chest. Marcus sat in his car, completely confused. What the hell was going on? That afternoon, he made a call he hadn't made in years. "Janet, it's Marcus Chen, I need a favor." Janet Reeves had been the university registrar when Marcus was putting himself through school 20 years ago. Now she worked at Pierce Community College. He heard the smile in her voice. Marcus Chen, I heard you bought a mansion in the hills, too fancy for us now. Never, listen, I need information on a student, Sofia Martinez. Marcus, you know I can't just. Janet, please, it's important, I think she might be in trouble. A long pause, give me 10 minutes. 12 minutes later his phone rang. Marcus, your girl isn't in trouble, she's enrolled in advanced calculus, 16 years old and taking college-level math. The professor says she's the best student in the class. Marcus's world tilted. Advanced calculus. That's not all, she took the placement exam last spring, scored 98th percentile. The admissions counselor flagged her file, said they rarely see scores that high, especially from someone her age. Janet paused. Marcus, she's paying out of pocket, no financial aid, no scholarships, just cash every semester, for one class at a time. After hanging up, Marcus sat in his office for an hour, pieces clicking into place. He accessed Sofia's high school records through the parent portal, using old authorization forms Maria had signed years ago for emergency contacts. His hands shook as he read. 9th grade, straight A's. Teacher comments, exceptional student, grasps concepts immediately, needs more challenging material. 10th grade, straight A's. Sofia is bored in regular classes, recommend gifted program. 11th grade, fall semester, grades started slipping, B's and C's, comments changed too. Sofia seems distracted, not completing assignments, potential not being met. Current semester, Sofia was barely attending, the truancy reports piled up. But it wasn't because she'd given up, she'd moved on. Marcus spent the weekend reviewing more security footage. Friday night, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., Sofia was in his kitchen, but she wasn't just washing dishes. In between loads, she had her textbooks spread across the counter, working through problems by the stove light. Saturday morning at 6 a.m. she left with cleaning supplies. Marcus followed her to 3 different houses in the neighborhood. She was cleaning homes, scrubbing toilets, mopping floors, earning money. Sunday evening, Marcus checked the household accounts. Maria's salary was fair, generous even, but there were notations in the payment system. Wire transfer to Mexico appeared every month. Large amounts. He made another call. Mr. Chen, I probably shouldn't tell you this. Maria's cousin Rosa cleaned houses 2 streets over. Maria's mother is sick, very sick. The treatments in Mexico, they cost so much money. Maria sends everything she can spare. Everything clicked into place. Maria was supporting her dying mother, Sofia knew. Sofia was watching her mother work herself to exhaustion, unable to afford the education her brilliant daughter deserved. So Sofia had taken matters into her own hands. 1 college class at a time, paid for with late-night dishwashing and weekend house cleaning. Hiding it all so her mother wouldn't feel guilty, wouldn't feel like a failure. Marcus felt something crack inside his chest. Monday morning he called Maria into his office. She stood by the door, wringing her hands. In 8 years she'd never looked nervous in his presence. Now she looked terrified. Maria, sit down. Mr. Chen, if this is about Sofia. Sit, please. She perched on the edge of the leather chair, spine rigid. I know Sofia's been skipping school. Marcus watched her face crumple. Maria, when did it start? 6 months ago, maybe more, I don't know what happened to her. Maria's voice cracked. She was such a good student, so focused. Now she's tired all the time, secretive, she comes home with money and won't tell me where it's from. Tears streamed down Maria's face. I think she's in trouble, Mr. Chen. I think maybe she's selling drugs or something worse. I don't know what to do, I'm losing her. Marcus leaned forward. Maria, Sofia isn't selling drugs. Then where does she go? Why is she skipping school? Where does the money come from? I can't tell you, Sofia needs to tell you herself. Marcus pulled out his phone. But I can tell you where she is right now, and I think we should go see her together. 20 minutes later, Marcus and Maria stood outside classroom 214 at Pierce Community College. Through the small window in the door they could see Sofia at a desk in the 2nd row. A professor was writing equations on the board. Sofia's hand shot up. Yes, Sofia, the professor's voice carried through the door. Would the derivative be negative in that scenario? Because if we're assuming the function is decreasing. Exactly right, can you show us why? Sofia walked to the board and began writing, her explanation confident and clear. The other students, all at least 5 years older, watched with respect. Some took notes on what she was saying. Maria gasped, I don't understand, what is this? This is where your daughter goes every day, advanced calculus, college level. Marcus watched Maria's face cycle through confusion, shock, and dawning understanding. She's not in trouble, Maria, she's brilliant, and she's been hiding it from you. But why would she hide this? I think you need to ask her that yourself. When the class ended, Marcus and Maria waited in the hallway. Sofia emerged, laughing with a classmate about something. Then she saw them. Every drop of color drained from her face. Mom, the textbook slipped from her hands, hitting the floor with a bang. What are you doing here? Maria rushed forward. What am I doing here, Sofia, what are you doing here? Students flowed around them, curious glances bouncing off the family drama unfolding in the hallway. Marcus stepped in. Let's take this somewhere private. The coffee shop across the street was nearly empty at 11 a.m. on a Monday. They sat in a corner booth, 3 untouched cups of coffee cooling between them. Sofia stared at the table, unable to meet her mother's eyes. Talk, Maria said, right now. I'm taking a college class. Sofia's voice was barely a whisper. I can see that. Why, how, you're supposed to be in high school. Because high school is killing me. Sofia's head snapped up, eyes blazing. I'm so bored I want to scream. I sit there for 6 hours learning things I already know with teachers who don't care and students who don't try. I was dying there, Mom, dying. So you just quit without telling me? I didn't quit, I moved up. Sofia pulled out her test scores, her enrollment papers, everything she'd been hiding. I took the college entrance exam last year, scored high enough to get in. I've been taking 1 class per semester because it's all I can afford. Maria's hands shook as she looked through the papers. Where did you get the money? Sofia's eyes filled with tears. I work in Mr. Chen's kitchen at night. He pays you, but I do extra work and he pays me too. That's not true, Marcus interrupted gently. Sofia, I don't pay you for the night work. But the money appears in Mom's account. That's your mother's regular salary. Sofia, where does your money actually come from? Sofia's face crumbled. I clean houses on weekends. The Johnsons, the Patels, Mrs. Rodriguez, they pay me in cash. That's how I afford the tuition and books. 1 class costs about $600. It takes me 3 months to save up for each class. That's why I can only take 1 at a time. Maria made a sound like she'd been punched. You've been cleaning houses, working at night. Sofia, you're 16 years old. I know how old I am, Mom. I also know that we can't afford anything extra. I know Grandma is sick. I know you send every spare dollar to Mexico. I know you work yourself to exhaustion. Sofia's tears spilled over. I couldn't ask you for college money. I couldn't be one more thing you had to worry about, so I figured it out myself. Why didn't you tell me? Maria was crying now too. Because you would have said no. You would have told me to focus on high school, to not worry about money, to just be a kid. Sofia's voice broke. But Mom, I can't just be a kid. I'm not like other kids. My brain doesn't work like theirs. I need this. I need to learn. And I need to do it without being another burden on you. Burden? Maria grabbed Sofia's hands across the table. You could never be a burden. You're my daughter. You're my everything. Then why do you look so tired all the time? Why do you work so hard? It's because of me and Grandma. I wanted to take care of myself so you could focus on Grandma. I thought I was helping. Maria pulled Sofia into a fierce hug. They cried together while Marcus looked away, giving them privacy. He remembered his own mother, working 3 jobs to keep him in school. He remembered hiding his acceptance letter to MIT because he knew she couldn't afford it. He remembered years of student loans and night shifts and exhaustion. He saw himself in Sofia's stubborn pride. He saw his mother in Maria's fierce love. When they finally pulled apart, Maria turned to Marcus. Mr. Chen, I don't know what to say. I had no idea. Neither did I until recently, but I'm glad I found out. Marcus took a breath. This was the moment. I have a proposition for both of you. Sofia tensed. Mr. Chen, if you're going to fire my mom because of me. Nobody's getting fired. Listen to me. Marcus pulled out a folder he'd prepared that morning. 8 years ago, my wife was dying of cancer. She was in incredible pain. The hospice nurses came during the day, but at night she was terrified of dying alone in the dark. He looked at Maria. Do you remember those nights? Maria nodded slowly. I remember. You stayed with her. For 3 weeks you slept on the chair in her room. You held her hand when the pain was too much. You read to her, you sang to her. And when she finally died, you were there so she didn't die alone. Marcus's voice thick. You never asked for extra pay. You never complained. You just showed up every single night because it was the right thing to do, because you cared. Maria wiped her eyes. She was a good woman, it was an honor. I've never forgotten that, and now it's my turn to show up. Marcus opened the folder. Sofia, I'm establishing an education fund in my wife's name, full ride to any college you choose. Tuition, books, housing, everything, plus a stipend for expenses. The only condition is that you finish high school. You can take college classes at the same time if you want, but you need that diploma. Sofia stared at him. Mr. Chen, I can't accept that, it's too much. It's not charity, it's an investment. My wife believed in education above everything else. She would have loved this. Please let me honor her memory by helping you. And Maria, I'm promoting you to household manager. Double your current salary. You'll oversee all the staff, handle the household accounts, everything. The extra money should cover your mother's treatments and then some. Maria stood up, shaking her head. No, Mr. Chen, we can't, this is too much. Sit down, Maria. Marcus's voice was firm but gentle. For 8 years you've given my home warmth and care. You made it bearable after Rebecca died. You've earned every bit of this and more. But more than that, your daughter deserves a chance. She's brilliant. She's driven. She's working herself to exhaustion at 16 years old because she has dreams and determination. Don't let pride rob her of her future. Sofia looked at her mother, tears streaming down her face. Mom, please, let me accept this. Let me go to college for real, I'm so tired. That broke Maria. She pulled Sofia close again, sobbing into her daughter's hair. Okay, Mija, yes. Marcus felt the weight he'd been carrying for days lift from his shoulders. This was why Rebecca had built their wealth, not for luxury, for moments like this, for changing lives. 3 months later, Marcus stood in his kitchen making coffee. It was 6 a.m. on a Saturday, and Sofia Martinez walked in, bright-eyed and energetic. Good morning, Mr. Chen, ready for our calculus session. Marcus groaned. I still don't understand why I agreed to this. Because you said my education was an investment, and investors should understand what they're investing in. Sofia grinned, pulling out textbooks. Besides, it's good for your brain. It had become their Saturday morning ritual. Sofia taught Marcus calculus while Maria managed the household staff with quiet efficiency. Sofia was enrolled in a dual program now, finishing high school while taking college classes. She'd already been accepted to Stanford, MIT, and Berkeley. The acceptance letters lined her bedroom wall. Maria walked in, carrying Marcus's mail. Mr. Chen, there's a letter here from the Scholarship Foundation. They want you to speak at the fundraiser. Tell them yes. Marcus took the mail, sorting through it absently. He'd established the Rebecca Chen Educational Foundation 2 months ago. Sofia was the first recipient. There would be more. His phone buzzed. A text from David, his head of security. Boss, you're trending on Twitter. Someone posted about Sofia's story. 20,000 retweets and counting. Marcus showed Sofia. She read it and laughed. Great, now everyone's going to think I'm some charity case. You're not a charity case, you're a success story. Marcus pointed to the calculus book. Now teach me about derivatives before my brain gives up. As Sofia launched into her explanation, Marcus thought about that night 3 months ago. The breaking glass that had shattered his comfortable ignorance. The exhausted girl washing dishes at 3 a.m. Sometimes you had to look closer. Sometimes the people right in front of you were fighting battles you never noticed. Sometimes paying attention was the most important thing you could do. Mr. Chen, you're not listening, Sofia said, snapping her fingers in front of his face. Sorry, what did I miss? The fundamental theorem of calculus. It's literally the foundation of everything we're about to learn. Right, sorry, teach me. And she did. If this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more stories about real people making extraordinary choices. Drop a comment below telling us about someone in your life who's working hard behind the scenes. And smash that like button to help this story reach others who need to hear it. Sometimes the most inspiring people are the ones we almost overlook. Let's make sure their stories get told.